Oh no. Well, so last time I did the this filter, my eyes, it looked like I had like a lazy eye the whole time. Maybe I did. I don't think I did though. So we'll see how it goes. I can't really see. I think it does make my eyes look crazy. And also there's this, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Nope, 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 not that either. Let's see if there's anything else. This is literally smiling, not smiling. That's weird. That's kind of how I am anyway. I could do this. Cringe. Doubt. Luminous. Oh. My cheeks look so huge. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are so huge. I need to do it at an angle like this so that my cheeks don't look so huge. Oh my gosh. What? Oh no. Do I look luminous? Not luminous? Luminous. Not luminous. I don't know. I think I'm kind of luminous anyway. We'll try it. I put way too much blush on. I just got to get all these formalities out of the way, you know. I got to clear through all this red tape before we can get started. My cheeks do look so puffy. Spoiler alert, they're like this all the time. It's not, well, it might be the angle, but it also might just be my cheeks. But if I did it up here, it's probably better. I don't think it really matters. I just think I have big cheeks. I'm not self-conscious about it, but I really am. Very. But, you know, I know it's just because I've been unhealthy so much of my life that being healthy and looking healthy feels weird to me. And also, I am kind of getting like a little bit. Just a little bit. My clothes aren't fitting me anymore, but it's okay. I'm about to start making more health conscious choices. I want to start like moving around again and stuff because I feel like I don't want to say the O word, OLD. I know that I can't stop my from growing, but I know that I don't feel old in my body, and I don't want to start, you know, I don't want to get like stationary because I love being active. Like I love moving around and stuff. It's just I need to find like, I don't know, maybe I'll start walking. Maybe I'll start walking in the evenings. That's what I should do. It's like a gorgeous day outside. I don't know if y'all can see this, but it is a very gorgeous day outside. So I guess the reason that I've been like not so worried about doing a live stream lately, actually a lot has happened. Like I have a lot going on in my life, and I think the reason that I haven't felt like such a desire to live stream on here is because I've really been like handling things. Like I've been like taking life like, you know, kind of as it goes, and that's weird for me, but nonetheless that's what I've been doing. It's crazy. This chicken just looks so, oh, speaking of the chickens, so if you remember on the last live stream, I was like, oh my gosh, this chicken that I love so much is dying. I think this chicken's dying. Well, it died. I don't have live streams since then. I think I tried to, maybe, I don't know. I was kind of like in my feelings for obvious reasons, because like I just really get so distracted by this rooster. Like I really cannot stand him. Out of all the things that bother me in life, I feel like he's like the main thing. But like he killed that chicken. I mean, so it's not like, you know, with most things, it's like, oh, Lindsay, like what can you learn from this? What is it about the rooster that's bothering you? That's like, that's, you know, that's triggering something in you that needs to be worked on. No, he's just a son of a gun. And last time on my live stream, I did kind of make, I kind of was cussing a little bit, or not. Yeah, I mean, I called him a SOB. I mean, he's like, he's just like so weird. He just bothers me. Things bother me today. Like, I'm in a like things bother me kind of mood. But it's not, but like like I was saying, like it's really not like stuff that I should look inward. Like, okay, well, first of all, anytime you're like irritable, especially when you're like in sobriety or like in AA, they call it like restless, irritable, and discontented. It's usually a sign that like there is something like stirring up in your soul that like needs, you know, attention. And so I get that. But then sometimes I wonder, I'm like, maybe things really do just annoy me, because I'm not like, it's like just a few things and they just like really bother me. So let's just like touch on some important life things real quick. I'm loving bangs. I think I'm gonna have bangs forever. So that's the number one thing. That's very important that we talk about that. Because one day, oh, and I also, when I like go back and like look at my live streams to like make sure, I mean, I just go back and watch them. I don't watch them like more than once. I just like skip over them just to make sure everything's like whatever. I was like, I'm never gonna drink again on there, because every time I drink, it's like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. But here I am. So I'm really just kind of goofing off right now till I get like, I didn't know what I wanted to like talk about. Because like I said, I actually do have like life events, you know. Well, so the chicken did die, and I had some really bad feelings about it, because, you know, everything, I mean, and I guess the overall, the theme of life for me, and really anybody, is like everything really is about us, you know, like the things that go wrong and the effects that they have on us, the way we react to things, like all of it really is just reflection of like what's going on inside of us. And like I realize that, and I realize that more and more every day. But like at the core of it, there was like a pretty big percentage of it was really just being sad that this chicken died, because I really didn't realize. Like I went back and watched the live stream, because I was like, what even happened? Like, how did this chicken really die? Like, so I went back and like watched part of the live stream, and I was like, literally, like, I love this chicken so much. This chicken meant the world to, like, means, like, not meant the world to me like it's already dead, but like I wasn't like holding a dead chicken, but I was like, you know, when I first started taking care of the chickens like so many months ago, like this chicken like let me pet it first, and then I remember the first time that it like got in my lap and I was holding it and stuff. So I was like talking about that. So I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna jump straight to there was really something big. It's bigger than the chicken. I think part of it really was about the chicken. I really do. But then beyond that, I do think there was a part of it that was like, no one ever listens to me, is how I felt. I was like, this chicken's dying, you know, like I was saying that, and like I felt like nobody was listening to me. And so I finally got mad and left and like walked down the street. I wasn't just walking down the street like a crazy person. Like I worked down the street. So I was like, I'm just gonna go like to work for a little while and like just clear my head. And then of course when I got there, they were like, you came to here, like we kill chickens all day, every day. Like that's literally, like I work at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. So I was like, okay, that is funny, but it's not funny. But I came here because like I needed to be around people that would, you know, I needed to be away from that environment, because I felt like it was making me mad, because I'm not one to be like, this is my thing, or these are my, like, I know everything, or I'm like important or anything like that. Like I try not to, I mean, I say I'm like, that's how I felt in that moment. Honestly, I was like, I've taken care of these chickens. I know these chickens. I'm telling you, like, this chicken is dying, and the rooster attacked it, and it's going to attack it again. And that's what happened. And I felt like no one ever listens to me. And sometimes I'm like, well, you know, people just have to learn on their own. But like when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like, you don't have to learn it on your own. Like I'm telling you, like the chicken was dying, and then there was probably nothing we could do anyway. So the lessons that I learned from it, here's the lessons that I learned from it. Number one, yes, it was ironic that I went to a place that sells chicken fingers, like to mourn the loss of the dead chicken, whatever. I realized, even though it was like not a huge deal, I responded with kind of like with anger and hurt. And I don't ever want to do that if there was ever like actual like catastrophe or loss in my life, because I see so many people do that like with actual, like the loss of like a relative or like a loved one, when like the mourning process, like the grieving process. Oh my gosh, there's somebody on here. Is somebody on here? Attica. I don't know what that means. I think it was just talking to me. I thought it was a person. It's been a long time since I've had a person on here. But anyway, so I was like, I don't ever want to, I mean, I don't want to ever lose anybody that I love, period, but it's probably going to happen someday. And like the worst thing that you can do in a situation like that, like in the face of loss and death and grief and mourning and you know, like all those things, like you know, people should come together, but typically they blame each other. They try to blame any and everything, because easier to be angry. It's easier to focus our attention on things like that than it is just to feel the hurt and the grief of losing a loved one, or really just anything hard in life. Like, I mean, you know, it's like it's just in our nature, like our mind really is just designed in a lot of ways to adapt or like, you know, like recalibrate, you know, but like our minds all are like, by default, they like run away from, you know, like it's like we're you know, negative, any negative, it's just like, you know, don't do that. So, oh my gosh, these chickens are like having like dirt baths right now. It's so cute. They really are. They're like this in the dark, like, and then here comes Mr. SOB. They do that so they won't get insects. It kicks away when they do dirt baths. Is when, look, they're like running away from him. But yeah, so he did. So he killed that chicken, and like I talked to Miss Deb afterwards, and she was explaining how, like, you know, there is a chance, because I even said, like, when I went inside, I was like, I'm gonna let Mother Nature like run. I'm not Mother Nature, so like I'm gonna let, you know, Mother Nature like be in charge as it should be. But then afterwards, you know, she was saying, like, she made a really good point that, you know, if the chicken was sick, like if it had some type of illness or something, that the other chickens would have possibly like detected that. They would have sensed that. And really the rooster could have even been doing it like to protect the chickens as a whole. And I don't know, because I'm not, you know, I don't understand all that. I know that did make me feel a little better. Because I mean, me, if there's one thing I'm a fan of, it's, you know, sacrificing you know, a small sacrifice for, you know, the larger good, the greater good, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Jesus did, you know? And so, you know, I mean, it kind of, is a reflection of that, if that's what it was. But I mean, either way, like I said, like there's something we could do. We couldn't just raise the chicken like outside away from the other chicken. So I mean, like, if it was gonna die, it was gonna die. It was just hard to like go back and watch the video and see that I really was like talking about how much, and really, and so here's the thing. So it really does always go back to the deeper things, you know? So like I was even saying how, you know, my motherly instincts were being fulfilled in the chickens, like, because, you know, well, first I have my children. I don't have my children, you know, like I had children that absolutely no interaction with, and that itself is like a huge gaping hole in my heart, you know, that 2 dogs would never satisfy, but they somewhat, you know, like, you know, just take the edge off just a little bit. They keep me from like losing in it by like loving the dogs, but like the dogs aren't here at the house either. So these chickens, you know, they were teaching me responsibility. They were kind of fulfilling that like motherly instinct, or like to like, you know, take care of something or love something or whatever. So it was doing that, you know. So really these deep cuts really do go back to the core things, and for me it's my children, you know. There's a lot of things in life. I mean, even like in addiction, like I'm not saying that I don't, like I'm not saying, oh, I'm cured, like I will never again, like I'll never have a craving, or like ever, there's no chance of me ever like possibly relapse. And like I'm definitely not saying that, but what I am saying is I do believe one of the main reasons that I fell so deep into addiction in the first place was coping with the pain, or trying to cope with the pain of losing my children in the first place. So now the biggest issue that I find, you know, when I'm feeling restless, irritable, and discontented, it's usually not directly. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm sure the brain, like my brain chemistry is still trying to like work things out, you know, so there's that aspect of it. But at the core of it, I just miss my children. I miss the part of me that is not with me, that just it hurts all the time. And I think that there's a difference in us callousing, you know, the Bible talks about with calloused hearts, you know, and I don't ever want to be that person. I never want to close off parts of myself, specifically my heart, because in doing so, you know, number one, the Bible talks, you know, talks about, I want to be one of the people that have that characteristic, because you know that's not like a godly thing. That's not what is ideal for, you know, when we follow Christ, we're like supposed to be in his image. We're supposed to like love like him. It's hard to do that with a calloused heart. You know, we want to have a heart of flesh. And so I think that, you know, to get hurt, and whether it be involuntarily or not, like close off parts of your heart, you know, it's gonna protect you. I like theoretically it's going to protect you from ever getting hurt again, but it's also going to prevent you from ever feeling, you know, you're not going to feel those emotions. You're not going to be able to feel love if you're not going to ever feel the negative consequences that love can bring, which is hurt. And so, but in doing that too, you know, it's kind of like if you don't know that something hurts, you're definitely not going to be like what's the word, like you're not going to be aware of that in how it could affect other people. You know what I mean? So like if and I say if, but like I can feel fire, like if you were to burn me with like an open flame, like it would hurt me. Like I would know that's hot, that burned me. Now I have like now I have like the after effects of like, you know, being burned by fire, you know. But like if I had some type of issue to where like my skin, like I you know, like the neuro, like the what do they call, like the nerves or like whatever causes, you know, the signal to be sent to your brain that like, ow, that hurts, or ow, that's hot. Like if that was not working properly, you know what I mean, and you were to like hold a flame on me, like I would not know that it hurt. I would not know, like I would not feel that pain. So number one, it could do irreparable damage because I would be like allowing it to continue to happen, and it would, you know, like it would burn me. But then also, you know, if I were ever in a situation where I were to have fire and be around somebody else, like there would be no part of me that would be at all concerned about not burning them, because I wouldn't care, because it wouldn't hurt me. So I wouldn't think that it would hurt them. So having a callous heart, I brought her to, okay. So having a calloused heart is not a good thing. However, I do think that God is gracious enough to allow certain pain to not fully affect us if it's something that's in his will, that he's carrying us through, but that's necessary to like, for the, like I was saying, like for the greater good. Like I know that not having my children right now is part of God's plan. I don't, let me reword that. I don't know that it's part of God's plan. I know that God has a plan for making right. I know that God is going to, without a doubt, I believe that he reconcile me and my children. He is going to not just fix and heal the wounds and repair the damage, but I think he's going to go exceedingly beyond that, you know, and give us a relationship and a life together that is far better than what we could have had or ever did have. And I believe that. I don't want to say with all my heart, because there's a part of me that does start to doubt sometimes. There's a part of me that does start to hurt and question and have that doubt, but I never lose faith. You know, that's why I have to talk about these things. I have to talk about these things out loud, because I have to remind myself how much I trust him and how he's going to make it right. So I think there's a difference in callousing my heart to where I'm not feeling those feelings. I think there's a difference in that and God carrying that pain or temporarily taking it for, you know, taking it off of me, you know, like I lay that pain down at the cross, you know, in having faith that he's going to make all things right, you know. And I think that that's different. I think it's different because, you know, there's a difference in God doing things for his good for our and us doing things as, you know, it being like a response, like a response that's rooted in fear. You know, when we close off parts of our heart, it's a response to pain. It's the fear of it happening again. And so, you know, the Bible says that fear, that perfect love casts out fear. That fear cannot exist in the presence of God's perfect love. So to me, there's just a very clear difference in that. I say all that to say this: I am struggling, you know, and I am never going to be ashamed to admit that. I'm never going to be ashamed to admit that while I fully support and pray for and rejoice in the, you know, when I see people receiving blessings in their life, when I see them, you know, God giving them these things or blessing them or advancing them in whatever aspect of their life it is, like, I know in my heart I'm truly rejoicing with them. But I'm not gonna lie that sometimes it hurts me. Like, I'm not gonna lie that sometimes I have to remove myself a little bit because I'm not gonna be envious. I'm not gonna be resentful, but I am going to be aware of those feelings, and I'm going to give myself the grace, give myself grace, and allow myself to not be ashamed of that. Because like I said, I know at the very core of me, I know that I genuinely want good things for people. I want the people in my life that I love, I want everybody to have good things, to be happy, to be blessed, to have a fulfilling life, you know, to carry out God's plan for their life. Like, I truly, genuinely want those things. But when I'm hurting, when I'm anxiously, patiently, desperately waiting for the things that I know God is going to do in my life, but He has not yet even given me the slightest hint that it's going to happen or when or how, sometimes I have to turn my head the other way. And I do. You know, yesterday at church, I was like, you know, just like up front, just like praying for a breakthrough, just like, you know, every time there's altar call, like, I'm running there, you know, like, I'm like the that touches Jesus's garment. Like, I'm gonna force my way through the crowd. Like, I'm always going to be, you know, with everything in me, like, running towards whatever it is, you know, that to like receiving that. But when it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? Like, my words to God immediately are like, God, I trust you. Even so, you know, even still, I love you. I trust you. Pray. You know, I will praise you. And what's crazy is that, like, yesterday during the altar call, like, this song that we were singing was literally like, I will praise you. I won't let I won't let the stones cry out. I don't know if that's the name of the song, but it's, I will praise you. So I won't let the stones cry. I won't let the stones cry out. I will praise you, because something in me has to. And it was saying, the longer the wait, the longer the wait, the longer the pain, the longer I'll wait. The stronger the pain, the more I'll believe for it. The higher the cost, the higher I'll reach. The stronger, the longer the wait, the stronger my faith grows. Something like that. It was very much like exactly what I was feeling. Like, in like the words were like, and I was singing it so loud, and then, like, I mean this. I can't look over there right now. I can't look at these people that are crying out tears of joy, that are just like overflowing, like, with the Holy Spirit just pouring out of them, you know, and everybody's just clapping, and just like in that moment, like, I couldn't be in that, you know, and I just couldn't. But I was not a part of it, you know. Like, my journey just looks different sometimes, and a lot of mine is just spent waiting, you know. And I thought yesterday, like, this is what I thought, and I know I've kind of talked about this before. Like, I know I've told this story several times, and I don't want to be like, I don't want this to be like the story that defines, like, this story. I don't want to give it more, like, more weight. I don't want it to hold more weight than it does, but it is very significant as far as, like, me holding out faith, like, waiting on God, and, like, to move in my life. you know, and I was like begging him, like when I was in an abusive relationship, and I was like, God, like, please get me out of this. Like, please get me out. Like, it's really bad. Like, where are you? You know? And then the guy like kneels down and starts praying next to me. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm just like, are you kidding me? And when God came through, you know, it wasn't then. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Where did it go? Oh, it was the most beautiful bluebird. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can find it. I've never seen a bird that beautiful. It was moving kind of fast. And so, and let me just say this too. Because I do my fair share of soul searching and self-reflection, and I pray that God would reveal to me the hidden parts of my heart, you know, and that I would not deceive myself, that the Holy Spirit would, you know, show my true intentions, and that I would be, you know, truly living out God's will in my life. And I'm not just saying those words. Like, I truly, like that's important to me to try. Does it happen all the time? I'm sure not, you know. But this dude needs to quit looking at me. But anyway, but I'm I want to be grateful every day, all the time, for the life that God has given me, my health, my sanity, my sobriety, this life, everything about this moment that I'm in right now. I wish that I was all the time truly grateful. I wish that I would look forward to living out a full life and dying of old age, and being able to, like, you know, share the gospel and you know, do everything I can to advance the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, like in all the days of my life. You know, I want that so bad. But the truth is, most days, a lot of the times, I just don't think I'm going to be happy until I'm, you know, with Jesus. The more time goes by, the more okay I am with this life. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm getting to a place where I'm able to, you know, I guess that is my will for my life. I guess my will for my life would be for it to not, you know, for me to just boom, like, be in heaven, you know, for eternity. But that is selfish. And, you know, there are a lot of people that have not had the opportunity to truly experience the, you know, God's power and his love and the great salvation that Jesus offers, you know, and I want that. And I wish that I could be, in some way, I wish that I could be a vessel, you know, for that to happen, at least for one person, if not more, you know. I wish that God would use me in that way. But the fact is, I get so tired of, you know, like I said, like, I just get tired of, like, seeing everyone around me, feeling like everyone around me is okay. Like, they're just content, and I'm just not. And I think to some degree that's normal. You know, when you do truly follow Christ, you know, this is, you know, it's a thing where, like, we're not in this world, we're not of this world, we're just in this world. You know, we're supposed to feel like foreigners passing through, you know. But these are words that are easier said than done. You know, I mean, the fact is, you know, that it's lonely, and at times it's empty, and you know, I mean, those are the times that I try to lean as much as I can on God for strength. And you know, like I was praying earlier, I was like, God, be enough for me. Like, let me, when I look around and I feel like an outsider in every, you know, every environment that I'm in, wherever I am, like, whatever part of my day, or what, you know, whatever I'm doing, like, when I just feel like I'm just completely not, you know, like, I just don't belong, like, help. Like, I need for you I need to feel that you're enough, that the way you see me, that the person that I am for you, the love that you have for me, and the position, like my spot in heaven, you know, is enough to suffice, you know, every day on this earth. Like, I prayed that today, you know, because the truth is, you know, we're made, humans were made to be social creatures. I guess that's what I've been told. Like, I've heard that. Maybe that's more of like, I mean, you know, I guess that's from more of like a biological standpoint, you know, I guess. I mean, I guess it's more of like we're meant to, like, we're kind of like, we're made to be in like tribes and like coexist together, you know, we're not meant to be alone. But that's a huge part of the human experience, you know, is feeling like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, you know, and to not feel that, it doesn't, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's because we are, you know, we're not supposed to belong in this world. Sometimes it still sucks. And also it's the fact that, you know, sometimes it might not be because I am a child of God and my sanctification has caused me to, you know, not be able to fit in with day to day, you know, your common folk. Maybe that's not it. Maybe sometimes it's just there's always been this something inside of me that has felt different. You know, maybe part of it really is God says that we are a peculiar people. You know, we are set apart. You know, we don't belong here. We're not, our citizenship is in heaven, you know, so basically we're like illegal aliens, or maybe not illegal, but like we're like aliens here. We're immigrants. We're just passing through. This is not our home, you know, so of course we're going to feel a bit of you know, like not acceptance, but like part of it, I think too, may be just from this part of me that probably led me to become an alcoholic / addict in the first place. You know, this feeling of like, something's wrong with me, you know, or maybe you don't know. I think there's probably people out there that have just never really, for the most part, maybe, I don't know, that have never really felt that have never known what it's like to be in a room full of people and feel alone, or be, you know, to just be like an observer, you know, like I'm here, but I'm just like a fly on the wall, basically, you know. You know, and there's times, you know, I joke about, like, I say I don't really joke, like there's been times where like I've truly felt invisible. Like I've been like in a group of people where I was like, I don't think anybody even recognizes that I'm here. Like I don't even know if like I'm like my reality, like the logical part of my brain is like, of course, like I'm a human being, like I'm here, but there's a part of me that's just like, am I? You know? But then there's also times in my life where that's kept me alive. You know, like I've been in genuinely life or death situations and walked past people that literally, it's like, it was like I had like temporary, like I was like superpowers to where I was like invisible, you know? And had they have seen me, you know, different, you know? I mean, I was not in good situations. And so, you know, it's just, you know, weird. And I'd wondered, I was like, when I was thinking about doing this live stream, I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Hey. I'm so glad that I can actually see. I have to like look down at this, but the reason that I do the chats for a long time is because I was like, I literally like cannot see it. You know, back in the day, I used to have a lot of people on my chats and I loved it. I would do like hours of just like talking to people, and then they would like talk to themselves and stuff. It was amazing. That would be crazy if it really was one of my kids. I would probably die. Like, I would probably literally like fall off this bar stool. It's not a bar stool, but this, whatever this piece of furniture is that I have out here in the middle of the yard. Let's just think about that for a minute. Let's think about like literally what I would do. I don't know. God works in mysterious ways, you know, like maybe, you know, there's going to come a day, like I have full faith that there's going to come a day when I'll, you know, see or talk to my kids again. And that's another thing. That's what's so hard about like day-to-day life is like accepting that this is truly the reality of things for me. Like I truly live a life that is like my reality is I have 2 children that like like they're strangers to me. And that's just focus on it too much because it really does. It really like it's like debilitating, you know. But the thought that like I have 2 beautiful children that like came from me, you know, and I'm not saying that that gives me any, like that doesn't give me any type of ownership or possession, you know, like a lot of people procreate. It doesn't, that's not like a badge of honor by any means, but like the fact that like these humans were like, they were inside of me and like they were in this world and like they relied on me, like I sustained them, like I fed them, like I kept them alive, like I cared for them, I loved them, like I tucked them in at night, I bathed them, you know, like I brought them to school, I went on field trips with them, you know, like I did all these things. And then just like that, there's just like this alternate reality now where like they're literally strangers to me. You know, like this kid, like these kids in at work the other day, like I was working at the front counter and this man came in with like his 2, they were like younger, like I would say maybe like 6 and 8, and they had just came from a ball game and they were there like getting food. And this one kid was so cute and he was like asking me all these questions and he was like, well like where are your kids? And I was like, oh, I don't have any. And he was like, well, why? And I was like, well, because I get to see kids here every day, you know? And it was like, that was just a flat out lie, you know? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's the kind of things that like, that's the parts of the day that really suck, you know? Because like, if I were to answer that question in any other way besides with a flat out lie, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it through the rest of the day, you know? I mean, and this is not like a, this is not like a chemical imbalance. Like this, not like I'm not clinically depressed where like, you know, there's this dark fog, there's just like this kind of heaviness that, you know, when a person is depressed, it tends to be, I mean, you might have ups and downs, but like for the most part, like it's this like dark cloud that kind of just hangs over you all the time. No, that's not what this is. This is I am genuinely a positive, uplifting person, and all you have to do is mention anything like just, you know, if the slightest thing gets like flipped in my brain that reminds me that I have 2 children that, you know, I have no, like that I have nothing to do with, it's like everything just shuts down or it flips, you know? And it's like I'm either like I just shut down or like I have to go in the bathroom and cry. It's just it's truly debilitating. And I don't think that ever gets easier, you know? But you know, like there was like this younger guy. I mean, he was like, I think he said he was like 18 or 19. You know, I closed at the restaurant last night, and like so, you know, there's a lot of not I wouldn't say downtime, but like, you know, like it's a more of an environment where you could like get to know people than if you're just like in the hustle and bustle of like, you know, the busy hours of the day. And so, you know, this kid was like talking to me, and I just listened to him, you know, like I just let him tell his stories, you know, and I just listened. I didn't like, because I would just remember, like I remembered Like, I remember my son used to would like read a book and like want to tell me about the entire book, you know? And I would just listen, you know? I mean, he would give the full, like, I mean, he would like, you know, the characters, like the backstory, the every detail, you know, and I would just listen. And I was thinking to myself last night, you know, like, God, like, you know, and I was like, I wonder if anybody listens to them, you know? Like, I'm listening to this kid right now. And I'm not saying I didn't care anything about what he was saying, but I wasn't necessarily like enthralled by it, you know? But I just know how important it is to feel heard. You know, that's why I have a YouTube channel with all of followers, you know, because it's important that people feel like they matter. It's important that people feel heard, you know. And I didn't feel that way most of my life. Now, that's not to say that I wasn't, but that was my perception of things. I never felt like anyone cared about what I had to say. Um, and I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. God has like done all of things in my life. You know, one of the things that I was talking to my therapist about today, I told her, you know, I was like, one way that I've gotten past a lot of the resentment that I have towards my parents is that, you know, God has parented me in a lot of ways. Like, God has raised me and filled in the gaps where my parents failed, because every parent fails in a, you know, in some ways. You know, no parent gets it right except God, you know. And my parents just didn't. And I'm not even dwelling on that. Like, I'm not, like, I am a grown woman. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, my parents didn't, you know, like, whatever. But the fact is, these things carry us. They we carry them with us, like, throughout our entire lives, if they're not dealt with, you know. And it matters, you know. It doesn't matter to sit around and cry about it. It doesn't matter to sit around and blame anyone else, or dwell on, you know, the the inadequacies of others, or, like, you know, I mean, but the damage, or the, like, the things that were done or weren't done, like, they it's still a thing, you know. So, you know, I feel like if you just ever want to, I feel like if I'm ever going to be like a functioning, healthy, emotionally stable member of society, you know, I've got to fill in those gaps. And that's what God has done for me. I feel like God has started to, you know, I feel myself growing in ways that I should have grown years and years ago, you know. And again, like, it goes back to the whole grace thing. Like, I don't feel ashamed. Like, it doesn't make me feel shameful that I'm just now doing things properly that I should have been doing properly as a child, or as a teenager, or as a young adult. Like, it doesn't matter to me. The fact is, I'm doing better today than I was yesterday, you know, whether it be by leaps and bounds, or just, you know, like, microscopic, you know, progress. Like, I'm growing, and I'm becoming the person that God always intended me to be. And you know, I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing. It's crazy watching that chicken fluff herself up with that dirt. I do have a job interview tomorrow at a treatment center. And also, you know, there's some opportunities for, you know, like, there's some things that kind of in the work that could mean, you know, changes for my life and my future. And I don't know. I can't decide if I'm not scared because I trust God, and whatever is going to happen, like, is going to be His will, and it's going to be good, and things are going to be okay, or if it's just that I'm just kind of like indifferent. I I don't know. And then I think, like, I don't want me being patient and waiting for God and trusting that he's going to follow through and that, you know, things are going to all play out as he intends them. Like, I don't want that to turn into me just being like jaded, you know, and just being like, it is what it is, because that's not true. You know, every day I have life in me. I have, you know, purpose in this world, you know, even if it's not being fulfilled in like a very tangible way. Like, it might not be in my career, it might not be in my ministry, it might not be with my spiritual gifts, but like every day I have the opportunity to make the most of the day and serve God in every way possible, you know, even if it's just getting on here and talking, or even if it's just being kind to someone, or even if it's just, you know, growing myself spiritually, you know, getting closer to him, deepening my relationship with him so that I can better serve him. I mean, whatever it is, you know, it may not be this big flashy, tangible, thing that I'm living out, but it's walking with God is never disappointing. It's never a dull moment, so to speak. That's not true. It kind of is. But the waiting, you know, this song, another song that I really like, is like, it says, I count on one thing, this God that never failed will not fail me now. And in the waiting, the same God who's never late is working all things out. He's working all things out. I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. And man, these songs just they hit me so hard right now. Like, this whole, you know, just like, no matter what, you know, no matter what happens, no matter what, no matter if tomorrow is the most mundane day, or whether tomorrow brings complete destruction and doom and gloom and loss and tragedy and catastrophe, or whether tomorrow brings amazing, beautiful growth opportunities, you know, like whatever tomorrow brings, like, I will praise you, God. I will give you thanks and praise and be grateful to you and praise you. Really, I don't mean, I keep saying it, like, that's it, just like praising him, you know. And it feels so good, you know, every time that I just want to feel sorry for myself, every time I want to just kind of wallow in that self-pity for just a little bit, pulling myself out of it and just praising God. Which, what does that normally look like for me? Normally for me, on a beautiful day like this, which is probably what I'm going to do as soon as I finish this live stream, is just getting my karaoke microphone and my Bluetooth speaker and playing worship. You know, my worship playlist, it's probably got like 45 songs on it, you know, and I just hit shuffle and I just sing my heart out to God. And it's not great. I'm not a great singer. I would think it was a stretch to even say that I'm a good singer. I'm really not. But I know that lifting my voice up to God matters. I know that it's fragrant offering, you know, it's a fragrant offering. It's to his ears, you know, like it's he inhibits our praise. You know, I'm kind of just regurgitating things I heard here at church, but I'm reminding myself of these things, you know. Like, I need to hear these things for myself every day, you know, that like God does inhibit the praise of his people. And when I'm feeling low, like, all I have to do is just sing out, cry out to him, worship him, praise him, thank him. You know, like, when I see people that just get up, like, they're bored, like, they're just sitting there and they like get on their phone, you know, like, I just get on my phone and I go to my notes and I just write down things that I'm grateful for in that moment. And it's amazing to me how fast they just start flowing out of me. Like, I'm like, oh, I thought of one thing, bing, boom, boom, and then I'm like, oh, and this, and this, and this. Like, gratitude, it just like, it grows in measures, you know. And I'm saying that again, I'm saying that to myself. I want to remember these things. I today is a low for me, and it's not that low. Praise God for that. My lows are not that low anymore, you know, because I just know. I look back and I don't dwell on the past. I don't live in the past, you know. But the things that God's brought me out of, oh my gosh, like the things that God has brought me out of, to think that he won't bring me to the other side of like whatever his purpose is for my life. Like, right now, life is good. Like, it is beautiful outside. It's beautiful outside. I am healthy. I am happy. I am blessed. I lack for nothing. Like, I want for nothing. Like, I am, my cup runneth over, you know? and to think that like this is what waiting looks like for me now, like I mean I used to would have been like, a gunshot victim in the local charity hospital, like ER, like waiting room, like not knowing if I was gonna bleed out or not. And now I'm like, I'm like, this is me waiting, on God. Like, I can do this, and of course the human in me wants to be like, oh, but it's so boring, or like, when is he gonna do it, and when is he gonna do it, and I'm just tired of waiting. But like the Christ in me is like, it's gonna be so good, just wait for it, and these live streams help me, even if they, for no other reason, even if there's no besides, like, it helps me just to remind myself of these things. I quit writing in a journal as much because at one time my thoughts were just, they moved so fast. I really couldn't, my hand couldn't keep up with my mind. Praise God for that too, that my mind is slowed down to the point that I probably should get back into writing again. It probably would be a good thing. But for now, like, this is the perfect outlet for me to like make sense of some things. And also, like, I want to be a good listener, and it's hard, sometimes we just have to talk. Like, energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transferred. And one way that we transfer energy or like transmute energy is like through talking. Words have power, words carry energy. So I mean, like, so for me to get on here and talk to no one, it's still a release for me. It's still an outlet for me. And then, in an hour, if somebody comes to me and they have to talk, I can listen. I'm not going to be like, have all this inside of me that I just need to like get a word in, not to say that I never do that, but I really try not to, I just can't get over how beautiful it is out here. And it was kind of chilly earlier, but it's like perfect now. I think I really am about to go get my my karaoke microphone and my speaker, and I'm just gonna jam out. And I can't tell if the more I praise God in song, if my singing gets better, or I just get more immune to it. If it just bothers me less, I don't care. I know that God deserves all my praise, and if God had a problem with my singing voice, he would have blessed me with a better one. So I'm going to see what this rooster's going to do. And, here's the thing. I say all that because, life is tough, and we have to work through things. And I for me personally, like, I have to make sense of things. The fact is, all that aside, all those thoughts and those, things in my mind that are just here and there, like, the fact is, like, Jesus could come back today, I mean, in the meantime, I want to make the most of this time. I want to, grow and deepen my relationship with him, and make the most of every moment that I have on this earth. But I mean, who knows what's going to happen, Do you believe in ghosts? No, I don't think so. I mean, I know that like the Bible only has like a couple of mentions of ghosts, I think. And one of them you missed out on. Okay. And one of the stories, I'm pretty sure like Saul conjured up a ghost and like lost his anointing. So I don't believe in ghosts. I do believe that like, everything in this world is energy. And so I think that it's possible for like negative energy to get, pent up in a place for, a long time. And, I mean, I think that can have made major effects on the environment and stuff. I also think that there's usually physical explanations for things that seem paranormal or spiritual. And like one of those things I think is like carbon monoxide. I think that from what I understand, like the side effects of like carbon monoxide poisoning are exactly like what you would, and that's crazy to me because like, I just couldn't imagine being like, I'm telling y'all, like, I saw a ghost, like, there's something going on in my house, like, and you get really, like, I got really cold, and then, like, I saw, like, this flash go by me, and, like, all these things, like, I had, like, a headache, like, all these stories that I've heard, and then it's like, nope, you literally had carbon monoxide poisoning, that, it's like, it's crazy to me. Do you believe in mermaids? Oh my gosh, are we really doing this right now? I believe that I think that from my understanding, like as folklore would have it, I think that the mermaids might have been like this. Just like sirens. Do I believe in cops and ambulances? Yes, because they're driving by right now. Oh, that's a fire truck. Do y'all hear it? No, I don't necessarily believe in mermaids. I do believe that there's probably a lot of wicked stuff in the bottom of the ocean. I do think it's fascinating that there's been so much more space exploration than there has ocean exploration, and it's probably because, yeah, it seems like there's some pretty wicked stuff down there. I made the mistake one time of YouTubing a video that was like audio from like the bottom of the ocean, and it creeped me out. But you know, they say that like I say they, I mean, the Bible doesn't say this in so many words, but you know, when Noah's ark, like when the flood happened, all those, you know, every living thing that wasn't in the ark, everything that was corrupt, you know, the Nephilim, the giants, the fallen angels, you know, all of the, like they had like, apparently they had like bred with animals, you know, like there was like bestiality and stuff like that. So all these monsters and creatures and like evil, corrupt, everything that was going on, like all this stuff that was going on, it all got washed into the ocean, you know. So like if you do believe in like spirits in that sense, then yeah, it makes sense to think that these you know, like I don't know, that's really as far as I've gotten into it, because you know, I try not to get bogged down with stuff like that. It is fascinating to some degree, but the thing that intrigues me more is that, you know, Jesus said that as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the, you know, in the days leading up to the return of man. So I would be more interested in knowing like what was life back then, because I really would like to know when he's coming back, because I need, you know, because I want that to happen. Do you believe in UFOs, like aliens? Like, do you really think we are alone? No. Again, I think that it goes back, you know, demons and the principalities and stuff. You know, I think that we're in the lowest dimension as far. What is going on? There's like, I think that was probably the paramedics, because a cop, I mean, fire truck drove by. Yeah, that was the paramedics. Well, I hope they're okay, y'all. Everybody just say a quick prayer that, like, whoever the ambulance is going to see, that they're okay. Yeah, so I do believe in aliens. I do believe that they're probably demonic, but I also believe a lot of this stuff that people think is demonic. I think that angels and, you know, celestial beings probably, you know, in the Bible, every time, you know, a person, like a person of God encountered an angel, you know, the first thing they said was fear not. So that kind of implies, I would think, that angels are kind of scary in person, you know, that they're not like, you know, that maybe they could even appear, I don't know, like maybe they are like we would consider aliens, you know, they're spiritual beings that are like celestial beings that like visit this earth. I think we're like the lowest as far as like, you know, realms. We're just like the 3D, you know. I'm not trying to like rattle off stuff. That is one reason that I did this video, this live stream right now, because I was like, I'm in like a chatty mood. So I was like, oh yeah, but keep the questions coming, because I wish that I would have done made the chat available for in the past, but I don't know, maybe I just needed I don't know, maybe I don't know why I didn't at the time, but I'm glad that I'm back. I just have to like lean forward every time somebody says something, because I have to like look at it, because I'm like on my iPhone. Do you think Bigfoots are real? Okay, well, I have a question for you. I have a follow-up question. Do you think it would be Bigfoots or big feet? I don't know. I think that Bigfoot probably falls in the category of like these, you know, like what would the word be? Like interdimensional? Is that the word? Something like that. Yeah. Again, this goes back to the whole, like, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be. And then it says, you know, leading up to the return of the Son of Man, you know, like there were giants back then. There were monsters, if you will. You know, there was creatures that came from you know, fallen angels and humans mating with animals. And so, yeah, it's not crazy to think those things are back, you know, on the scene, because I mean, Jesus could return back anytime, you know. And if he does, then you know, one of the signs is going to be that there's going to be a lot of corruption in the world. There's going to be a lot of you know, like immorality and things like that, you know. So yeah, I think Bigfoot could be real. What else you got? But where are we at on the whole big feet thing? Do we think it's big feet or Bigfoots? I'm just kidding. Sasquatch. Would be his official name, I think. What do you think about these things I've been wearing on my head? It kind of matches my shirt right now, but I've been wearing them a lot. My hair grows out because my hair is kind of like in a weird stage right now, and it like poofs up on the sides. It's like really crazy, and it gets really like matted up, really nappy. That's the word I was looking for. It gets really nappy, so I have to put all my effort into like making my bangs look good, and then I just cover the rest of it up. Thank you for being on here, by the way. It's so nice to have somebody do this live stream. What is your name? Let me see. Oh, okay. It's nice to have you on here. What do you have a crown for? What does that mean? That you're my #1 fan? Does that mean you're my #1 fan? I would like for my channel to start being more active again, because for a while there I really did have a pretty good thing going. It looks very style. It looks nice. Thank you. It was like a scarf thing that it was like a blanket almost that I cut into this. So yeah, so how is your day going? How are you? I just like moved this around. Now it's all like crooked. I guess I'm kind of really done. Like, I guess I don't really have anything else to say. I do feel better now. I feel like I got stuff off my chest. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm ready to see like where this YouTube channel, I'm ready to like get started with it again. You know what I mean? I think so. I'm your #1. Yay! Thank you for being my #1. This is like old times. It really is. Please like this video, this live stream, share, subscribe if you haven't. It's nighttime here by me. Where are you? Where is it nighttime right now? Because it's the middle of the day here. It's a beautiful day. It's like it's 3:50. This day's kind of flying by. I'm gonna be hungry soon. Oh my gosh, South Africa, that's amazing. Well, look, I'm gonna hop off of here because it's getting cold now that the sun's going down. It's starting to get a little chilly, and I'm off work again tomorrow, so I'm gonna hop on here again tomorrow about this time. I think I'll probably be in a different location because I do have that job interview tomorrow. Very excited about that. But I would love for you to join me again. In the meantime, I would love for you to share this, subscribe if you haven't, but I think you have, because I think you're my #1 fan, and I really appreciate that. It was nice. It was nice chatting with you, and I hope that you will leave more feedback in the comments. You know, let me know your thoughts on UFOs and Sasquatch / Bigfoots / Big Feets and mermaids. And also, you know, yeah, let's explore that more. You know. Yeah, actually, I have a lot more thoughts on it, but I won't go into it right now because it is what it is. Believe you going to get that job. Thank you so much. Well, hopefully when I get back on here tomorrow, I'll have an update on it. Okay, thank you. It's been, yeah, I'll be back on here about the same time tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have some, yeah, good in the work though, things in the